Hey, Dustin Tibbetts, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. And one of the coolest parts about my job is since we're an independent financial advisor and we are fiduciaries, we have no ties to any individual product, service, investment, or company, which means we can invest and give you the best advice for you personally without any conflict of interest. Now, one of the most fun parts about my job, not only helping with your retirement and your investments, but also with your personal finances. We have a product that we use with our clients called Nest Egg. And what this does is basically allows us to track every last dollar of your spending, if you like us to, and we can help you with your debt, your credit, any loans, properties, student loans, anything that touches your money. We could tell you if it's a good value and if you're moving in the right direction. So while we're managing your retirement investments and projecting for the long-term future, we can also budget your money and take a look at everything you have in the short term to make sure you're making the best possible decisions. Well, today I want to talk about prioritizing your debt. Look, all of us have some kind of debt, or we have had or will have some kind of debt in the future. Now, it's not that debt is bad. Like, debt is not bad. Guns aren't bad. Knives aren't bad. It's how you choose it and how you use it. So with our debts, we want to prioritize. When we decide to pay those debts, we want to make sure we're on time, of course. All right, so when we prioritize our debt, we've got to start somewhere. And I'm not going to be that guy that says, oh, you start with the most expensive debt that you have and you pay it off. We want to start with the most dangerous debt and work our way into the most common debt. That's how I approach things. So first, the most dangerous type of debt that you can have, believe it or not, is student loans. Now, student loans aren't bad. If you need them to go to school, I always say just make sure you take out what's relative to the job or the opportunity you'll have in the future. If you're going to be a graphic designer, you don't need $150,000 in student loan debt. You shouldn't be looking at that much. If you're going to be a doctor, well, that's a different story. So the first thing we want to look at, student loan debt. When it comes to the debt that you have for student loans, there's one simple little rule. Pay on time and pay a little extra. Can be $1 extra, just pay a little extra. Here's the reason. Student loan debt, you can't run away from. It is there until you pay it off or you die. Thanks to our government, they've made it such that you can't erase this debt. You can't file bankruptcy in most cases, and so it's stuck with you. Now here's the problem. If you say, screw them, I'm not going to pay that back, well, now they can come after your Social Security checks in the future. They can make your life a living hell, and that debt will only pile up and pile up. So when it comes to student loan debts, know what your payments are before you take the student loan debt, and when you pay them back, pay on time and pay early. Let's try that again. Pay on time and pay more. Now, when we're talking about prioritizing your debt, we're not saying go all in on one debt, then knock that out, then go all in on the next one. We can split up our money. There's nothing wrong with taking 60% of a payment and putting it this way and 40% of a payment and putting it this way. Well, if you're going this way, the next type of debt that you want to prioritize is going to be IRS debt. Now, I think that goes without saying. The IRS is certainly someone to be respected, and this type of debt needs to have priority. Why? Because the IRS debt can accumulate more and more over time, more aggressively than other types of debts. Not only that, of course, they can garnish your wages, they can come after anything they want to get you to pay off those debts. So the second most important debt to pay off when you're prioritizing is your IRS debt. Next, we're going to move on to credit card debt. Now, this one's pretty simple. If you have credit card debt, I'm sure you've realized by now there was really no benefit to having that credit card. It's more of a pain in the you-know-what than it was a joy to have the credit card. So if you've decided to pay off your credit card debt, I'd love to help you. Check us out at jazzwealth.com. But here's the thing. We want to start with the one with the highest interest rate. This is where it makes sense to say, all right, I have 3 cards and this one has a 20% interest rate. Start there and start making payments there. Of course, we're not going all in. We're not going to neglect the rest of them. We're going to make our biggest payment to the highest interest rate, work our way down, and as you pay off the most expensive one, work your way with those payments down to the next one, and you'll eventually work your way through it. Now, if you happen to be behind on credit card debts, this is where it's very important. You do not focus on the card that you are furthest behind in debt. If If you want more help with that, if you're a client with Jazz Wealth, I will walk you through that. But the common sort of thought is if I'm behind, then I better start paying the one that I'm furthest behind on. Nothing could be further from the truth. If you want more help on that, leave a comment or something. Let me know if that sounds interesting. Maybe we'll make another video on that. If you are behind on your credit card debt, you got to man up and you got to negotiate that on your own. Do not use credit support agencies, credit collections agencies that help you with that process. What are they called? The credit support centers. I can't think of the name at the moment, but don't use them. There is no need to use them. They just cause you more debt. Man up and negotiate the debt yourself. Of course, if you're a client of Jazz Wealth, I will help you with that. I've literally walked clients through that process on the phone with the creditors. And finally, we're going to talk about what I call the rapid depreciation debt. So we want to focus on this debt finally at the end because usually it has the lower of the interest rates. Now I'm talking about things like your cars, the boat you may have bought, the ATV out for that little hunting property that you have. Those are the things we want to focus on next. The reason why we focus on those last is one, because the interest rates tend to be a little bit lower. There's a physical asset backing up that property, so if you don't pay it, they can just come take it from you. The other reason is there's really nothing they can do if you don't make good on those payments. Yes, it's going to hit your credit score. Yes, they're probably going to come sneak by in the middle of the night and take it back. But other than that, they can't really hurt you in any other way. Now, we want to pay these off because, of course, these are assets that are depreciating. So once we take care of the scary debt, we prioritize that. Well, we want to keep that sort of avalanche going. We want to pay off the rapid depreciating debts. So that's the final one. Be sure to focus on that. Don't get behind on those either. Well, hey, I hope this helps. This is just one of the things we help our clients with at Jazz Wealth Managers. We specialize in the retirement and investing category, but we add a twist to it. We help you with your personal finances, and I find that to be the most fun. If you'd like to learn more about that, leave a comment below and let me know if you work with a financial advisor or a company at the moment that also helps you with your personal debt. I think it's something unique that we're doing. I hope you find it enjoyable, and we'll talk to you soon. Well, I hope you liked that video, and if so, then there may be another one up there that you're interested in. If you're thinking of opening or transferring a retirement account from somewhere else, click our logo over here, and that'll take you to our website to get started, or you can then click Chat with Jazz, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon.